Join me as I explore the spookiest houses from around the world and see if I can brave the chills they give me. There's something undeniably fascinating about spooky houses, don't you think? The ones that stand tall, yet seem to whisper eerie tales to those who dare approach them. From crumbling mansions to abandoned asylums, these houses have a way of sending shivers down our spines, and yet we can't help but be drawn to them. When it comes to haunted houses, people often have a love-hate relationship with them. We're simultaneously repelled and attracted to the fear and mystery that surrounds them. Perhaps it's because these houses tap into our deep-seated fears of the unknown, or maybe it's because we're curious about the lives of those who lived and died within their walls. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure: haunted houses have a way of getting under our skin. For many of us, the thrill of exploring a spooky house is a rite of passage, a test of bravery that we either eagerly accept or anxiously avoid. But have you ever stopped to think about why we're so fascinated by these haunted abodes? Is it the thrill of possibly catching a glimpse of something paranormal, or is it the chance to connect with the past, to learn from the stories that these houses whisper to us? Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure: our fascination with haunted houses is here to stay, and it's precisely this fascination that drives us to explore, to discover, and to uncover the secrets that lie within those crumbling walls. Let's take a journey to explore some of the most famous spooky houses from around the world. From the Stanley Hotel, which inspired Stephen King's The Shining, to the Winchester Mystery House, with its labyrinthine corridors and staircases that lead to nowhere. We'll delve into the histories of these houses, the ghost stories that surround them, and the mysterious events that have been reported by those who've dared to venture inside. Our first stop is the LaLaurie House in New Orleans, a mansion with a dark history of slavery, torture, and murder. This house has witnessed some of the most horrific atrocities in American history, and it's said that the vengeful spirits of the slaves who were brutally treated here still roam the halls, seeking justice. Next up is the Bell Witch Cave in Tennessee, a haunted farmhouse that's said to be home to the malevolent spirit of the Bell Witch, who was blamed for physical attacks on the Bell family and their visitors. To this day, people report strange occurrences, from disembodied voices to unexplained noises and apparitions. We'll also be exploring the Borley Rectory in England, once considered the most haunted house in the country. This former rectory has a long history of paranormal activity, from ghostly apparitions to unexplained noises and strange lights. So if you're feeling brave, let's step inside and see what secrets we can uncover. But among all the spooky houses we'll be exploring, there's one that stands out: the Villisca Axe Murder House in Iowa. This house has a particularly dark history, having been the site of a brutal axe murder that claimed the lives of 8 people, including 6 children. The crime was never solved, and to this day, people report strange occurrences, from ghostly apparitions to unexplained noises and movements. The story of the Villisca Axe Murder House is a chilling one, and it's said that the vengeful spirits of the victims still roam the halls, searching for justice. I've got to admit, this one sends chills down my spine just thinking about it. The way the family was brutally murdered, the lack of motive, the fact that the killer was never caught, it's a recipe for disaster, and I can only imagine the fear and terror that those who lived in that house must have felt. As we've seen, these spooky houses have a way of tapping into our deepest fears, of awakening something primal within us. But despite the chills they give us, we can't help but be drawn to them, to explore their histories, to uncover their secrets, and to learn from the stories they whisper to us. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of spooky houses. If you've got a favorite spooky house story, or if you've had a paranormal experience you'd like to share, please leave a comment below.